People often believe they fall in love with a person, but in many cases, they fall in love with an image. This is why attraction can feel so immediate, so absolute, and so mysterious. A man sees a woman and feels that she is the answer to a question he has carried for years. A woman sees a man and feels that he contains a strength, certainty, or depth she has been searching for all her life. They call it chemistry. Sometimes it is, but very often it is something more dangerous. It is projection. In my work, I observed that the human being does not approach love empty-handed. He brings memory, longing, childhood wounds, forgotten needs, unlived qualities. And when these things remain unconscious, they do not stay quietly inside him. They rush outward and attach themselves to another person. I call this projection. Then love begins, not with sight, but with enchantment. I gave a name to these inner figures. In a man, the hidden feminine image can appear as the anima. In a woman, the hidden masculine image can appear as the animus. These are not merely ideas about men and women in society. They are inner forms through which the soul imagines completion, and when they are unconscious, they are easily projected onto a lover. This is why a person can seem extraordinary before you know anything real about them. You do not yet know how they behave under stress. You do not know how they handle truth, boredom, conflict, money, disappointment, or loyalty. And yet you feel certain that they are different, certain that they understand you, certain that life is about to begin. Such certainty should make us cautious, because the more quickly someone becomes magical in your eyes, the more likely it is that you are looking through the mist of your own psyche. Let me give you a simple example. A man grows up with a mother who is warm one day and emotionally distant the next. As a boy, he learns to wait for love. He becomes highly sensitive to tone, expression, and mood. Later, when he meets a woman who is difficult to reach, something in him awakens. He does not call it childhood. He calls it passion. He says, "I have never felt this way before." But often what he feels is not only desire. It is the old hope that this time the distant woman will finally turn toward him. Now imagine a woman who grew up with a father who was admired by everyone, but emotionally unavailable at home. He was strong, competent, perhaps even impressive, but he was hard to reach. She learns to associate masculine presence with distance. Later, she meets a man who is self-contained, ambitious, and slightly withholding. He appears powerful. She feels drawn to him immediately, but beneath the attraction may be an older pattern. She is not only meeting a man, she is trying once more to approach the unreachable father. This is how the contrasexual image works when it remains unexamined. It gives ancient hunger a modern face. And because the hunger is old, the attraction feels fated. This is why so many intelligent people ignore obvious warning signs in love. The red flag is visible. The inconsistency is visible. The selfishness is visible. But enchantment is stronger than evidence. The person does not see what is there. He sees what he needs. She sees what she longs for. And longing is a brilliant painter. It can cover selfishness with mystery. It can cover emptiness with depth. It can cover instability with passion. I have seen people confuse emotional chaos with destiny. They mistake the shaking of the nervous system for the voice of the soul. But the soul is not merely excited by what is intense. It is also nourished by what is true. That is a very different thing. This is why idealization is almost always followed by disappointment. At first, the beloved appears luminous. Then ordinary human reality begins to show itself. They are tired, flawed, contradictory, sometimes selfish, sometimes frightened, sometimes disappointing. And the one who was once adored now seems to have committed a crime merely by being real. A man says, "She changed after marriage." Very often she did not change. The spell broke. A woman says, "He became cold once I got close." Sometimes that is true. But sometimes she is seeing for the first time the man who was always there behind the image. This moment is painful, but it is not meaningless. Disillusionment is often the first moment of real sight. Before that, one is in love with a projection. After that, one has the chance to encounter an actual person. Many people never make this transition. Instead, they become bitter. They decide that love is a lie. Or they move immediately to another romantic obsession. New face, same pattern, same hunger, same ending. Then they ask why the wrong person keeps appearing. But very often the wrong person is not simply appearing. He is being selected by something unconscious. She is being chosen because she fits the old inner image. This is also why betrayal in love can feel so catastrophic. Of course, betrayal is painful in itself, but it is often worse than people expect, because more than the relationship has collapsed. The image has collapsed. The dream has collapsed. The promise that this person would redeem loneliness, heal childhood, restore meaning, or confirm worth has collapsed. That is why the grief is so large. A human being has disappointed you, but so has your fantasy of salvation. Ancient stories understood this well. Again and again, a person is captivated by a beautiful figure and loses judgment. He does not see clearly because he has been claimed by an inner drama. The outer figure becomes the stage on which the soul performs its hunger. This is why love can feel almost religious in the beginning. It promises wholeness. It promises rebirth. It promises that one more human being can spare us the task of becoming inwardly complete. But no person can carry that burden for long. Sooner or later, the beloved begins to suffocate under expectations that were never truly theirs. So what must a person do? First, slow down the moment of enchantment. If you feel immediately certain, do not trust the certainty. Observe it. The psyche is often loudest when it is least examined. Second, ask what quality in the other person feels so irresistible. Is it tenderness, authority, mystery, warmth, strength, permission to feel, permission to rest? Very often the quality that most enchants you is a quality your own soul has not yet learned to live consciously. A man who is cut off from tenderness may worship it in a woman. A woman who is cut off from inner authority may worship it in a man. And what is worshipped externally is usually underdeveloped internally. Third, ask what is familiar in the attraction, not what is pleasant. What is familiar? Does this person make you feel as if you must earn love? Do they make you anxious, watchful, overgenerous, or strangely childlike? Do you feel you must rescue them, impress them, or suffer for them? Then you may not be entering love. You may be entering repetition. This does not mean attraction is false. It means attraction is informative. It tells you where your soul is split. It tells you what you keep seeking outside, because you have not yet encountered it within. And this is where real love begins to differ from romantic intoxication. Romantic intoxication says, "You are everything I have been missing." Real love says, "I see that I have placed too much on you, and I must take back what belongs to my own soul." That is a difficult sentence, but it is the beginning of maturity. To withdraw projection does not mean becoming cold. It means becoming honest. It means allowing the other person to be human rather than symbolic. It means asking not only, "How do I feel around this person?" but also, "Who are they when the fantasy is gone? Can they tell the truth? Can they bear frustration? Can they repair conflict? Can they remain loyal when admiration fades? Can I?" These questions are not unromantic. They are the rescue of love from illusion. Because love that cannot survive reality is not yet love. It is enchantment, and enchantment always breaks. So if you keep falling in love with the wrong person, do not begin by condemning your heart. Begin by studying it. Ask what image repeatedly takes hold of you. Ask what ancient longing keeps dressing itself in new clothing. Ask which part of your own nature you keep expecting another person to carry on your behalf. The wrong person often feels right because he resembles a wound. The wrong person often feels right because she carries a missing piece of your unlived self. But the task of life is not to remain hypnotized by that image. The task is to become conscious of it. When that happens, attraction becomes less blinding. You begin to see sooner. You choose more slowly. And for the first time, you may discover the difference between being overwhelmed and being met. That difference changes everything.